This has to be the hypest One Piece chapter where almost nothing happened for most of the chapter. But anyways, it's your boy Dougie D Fresh, and today we're talking about One Piece chapter 1109. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like so YouTube knows you liked it. Make sure to leave a comment down below about anything you have to say about the chapter or anything I said in this video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you enjoy the content and want to be notified of all future content. Now let's get straight into it. This chapter started off hype with this cover story. Now, I can't even say what most people are thinking. I don't know what the Twitter sphere is thinking. I don't know what YouTube is thinking. I have avoided looking at anything that has to do with the chapter before recording the video. We could possibly, now this is why I'm hyped, I'm probably reaching, and this is probably not gonna happen, but we could be getting some Big Mom and Kaido representation. Now, I think it's a long shot. I am excited to see where this cover story is going regardless, because we are going back to Wano so soon after leaving with, you know, some things not touched on that I would enjoy, but it's more so just the curiosity of seeing why Oda decided to make this a cover story and what we're going to gain from this. So let me know if I'm tripping down below in the comments or what you think we're going to get from this. Now, this is the most important 10 minutes in all of One Piece. This chapter was mostly just set to build up the hype of the reveal. The last chapter was like, okay, you're going to get it. And this chapter was just further teasing. It's like, you know, the last chapter was your girl telling you like, hey, when you get home, I'm gonna give you some firehead. Don't even worry about it. But this chapter was like, you get home, you know, you see her, she's wearing something nice for you. She made a nice meal for you. She's like, oh yeah, teasing you a little bit, like, oh yeah, remember I said that? Remember I said that? Yeah, that's gonna happen later. And you just sit there getting all excited. That's what this chapter was like. The fact that Shaka was thinking, oh no, let's make them wait a whole hour. Bro, they would definitely not make it an hour. I'm glad they decided on 10 minutes, and we'll get back to the 10-minute thing a little bit more in the chapter. But man, the whole world is tuning in. We get to see Dressrosa, we get to see the East Blue, the South Blue. I think we got to see Sabaody Archipelago. I'd be surprised if we didn't, because, you know, Sabaody is a place where something like that would be broadcasted. I don't think we really got to see any Marines reacting besides the Marines on the ship. So hopefully this information gets revealed. I feel like Oda can't tease us like this without actually revealing information, but it will be so interesting. It will be so interesting to see what the other admirals think about this. What is Akainu gonna say? What is Green Bull gonna say? What is Fujitora gonna say? I literally, I would not be mad at seeing, you know, taking like maybe 4 or 5 chapters of getting a bunch of different people's reactions. Like, man, shoot, what is Blackbeard gonna say? What is Blackbeard gonna say? How is we didn't get to see Emu reacting at all. We just saw the Gorosei. And this is something that's important enough to where I feel like it would make sense for Emu to finally get involved. But again, the Gorosei are there and they're handling it, or are they? I don't understand why we need visuals. Like, maybe there's probably something that Vegapunk wants to show people, because I feel like you could just tell people what's going on through a visual, or not through a visual, sorry, through audio, but maybe the visuals there to help with either believability or something. Like, if people hear the words in Vegapunk either show something, or you just see Vegapunk, because at least in the One Piece world right now, they're not worried about fake AI generated videos. So seeing a person breaking down some information to you, probably showing some stuff that they found that has to do with the voice sentry or the information that they're giving out, would help a lot with people tuning in. And I feel like it just adds a lot more hype to it, because, you know, just hearing something is one thing, but when you get to see it too, that's a whole nother thing. So I guess I really understand why we need the visuals. And Dragon, I have been waiting for you all arc. I'm really not mad at Dragon. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, if this character doesn't do XYZ, they're a fraud. Like, I'm upset. One Piece is a long ass story, and a lot of the storytelling comes with waiting, patience, and, you know, telling it over a course of time. So I'm fine with waiting to see when it is time for Dragon to, you know, really do his thing in the story. But with him calling back to Shaka saying, I think I'm gonna die soon, or I'm expecting to die soon, I kind of thought maybe that was just Shaka talking, like, about himself, because then we saw Shaka get shot in the head. But maybe Shaka was just talking about in a general sense, like Vegapunk, like as in the main Vegapunk, and maybe all the satellites will be dying soon. And maybe he let Dragon know about the broadcast, because after my first time reading it, or sorry, on my second read through, to be more clear, I was like, I wonder if it could be on Kamabaka Queendom, but then I was like, no, because they're showing the people at Kamabaka tuning in. Then again, Dragon could be running the broadcast without them knowing. And the reason why I'm saying all this is because I want to know what Shaka told Dragon, why he just has the little ellipses. And I feel like having the transmission come from Egghead is way too easy. Like, Vegapunk is supposed to be like the smartest mind, the greatest mind in One Piece. I'm sure like Vegapunk really trusts in his security and the Labostratum and all that, but now we see who is pulled up at the end of the chapter. So do you think that stuff is really going to be enough? Because you know that revealing this information to the world is not just gonna be easy. And again, there's a whole Buster call going on right now, so maybe like Morgan's kind of assumed like this is pre-recorded, so it could have just been shown whenever. Like maybe the island got blown up and Vegapunk had a whole nother island where this recording was set up. But I just think it's too easy to have the broadcast coming from Egghead when you know that people are not going to want this message to get out and they are 100% going to interfere. So while I started talking about Dragon, I just went on a whole little tangent. But I'm sorry, this chapter is just so hype. It's got me all over the place. But anyways, let's just continue. Gear 5 is true. I think I don't want to say I'm underestimating Gear 5. I just always like to see what Luffy can do. Like, where are the limits of Gear 5? And the fact that Luffy just smashed Saint J and Kizaru to pancakes and then threw them is just, it's crazy to me, but a good kind of crazy. It's just like, okay, well, add that to the list of things Gear 5 can do. It was like seeing Kaido being jump rope, seeing the lightning being grabbed. Like, there's just always something where it's like, okay, Luffy can do that now. Points taken. And it just got me thinking, like, maybe I need to reevaluate how I see Luffy's strength going forward, because how I was looking at it is Luffy is hella strong right now. If you're not a top tier, don't even try to talk to Luffy. Luffy needs to get a hold of the drawbacks of Gear 5, if that's even possible. We don't, I want to say we kind of don't know exactly how long he can last in it. I think this is what, his third time going into Gear 5 this arc. So I'm sure once he runs out, the drawbacks will be very bad. And also I'm wondering who is gonna carry him off, because Luffy said, I'm not gonna let you two go until I know my friends are safe. But then it's like, Luffy, who's gonna, I mean, maybe you could just assume they're gonna come back and get you, but this is kind of a time sensitive thing. Like, y'all need to get out of here. The situation just keeps escalating. I know Luffy's strong as hell, but man, oh man, I'm really trying to hold back until I get to the end of this chapter. So let's just move on to the next topic, which is Kizaru. And Kizaru's heart's just not in it, man. I don't think we're gonna see all out Kizaru this arc. I don't think he really wants to be here. I've been reiterating this like every single chapter. And I mean, people have their agendas in this, whatever, you know, Admirals suck, Kizaru's trash, blah, blah, blah. But just as far as the storytelling aspect goes, which is what I'm really here for, I think Kizaru is just having a rough day. Like, he's just not with it. Like, the Gear 5 shenanigans, having to kill his closest friends is just, it's not looking good for Kizaru. And I'm just praying that, you know, maybe he gets to smoke a nice joint or something once he gets back to HQ, because at least he doesn't necessarily have the Fujitora problem. He's like, hey, you gave me a job and I didn't do it, but y'all were also there and you couldn't do it. So, you know, let me go chill. So I'm kind of excited to see where Kizaru goes from moving forward. Let's get into the main hype of the chapter. We're finally here. And if you made it all the way here, make sure to drop that like and comment. Please just let me know you're here. The planets are aligning. We have a reverse rooftop situation. The reverse roof piece is happening to Luffy, and it is just pure hype. Like, I don't know what much else to say. I didn't think we were gonna see all the Gorosei forms this soon. Every time I think Oda's gonna hold on, not every time I think Oda's gonna hold on to something, but sometimes when I'm like, man, this is probably gonna happen farther down the story. It is happening right now. We are in the end game of One Piece. What else does Oda have to do to get you people to understand this story is ending? And yes, it is beautiful, but it's so bittersweet. But I'm so goddamn hyped. I can't wait to see how Luffy deals with this. I can't wait to see what the Gorosei look like. It is just pure hype all around. But anyways, that is it for the video today. If you enjoyed the video, made it this far, please drop a like to let YouTube know you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below to let me know, and to just comment on anything you have to say about the chapter or anything I've said in this video. If you really fuck with me, then hit the subscribe button, turn on the post notification bell to be notified of all future uploads. It has been your boy Dougie D Fresh. I'm out. Peace.